This is Finding Things Within and Without. We're at episode number 9 now, and I am still not announcing. So I am going to do a little PR and see if anybody wants to jump in the chat. And I am under crunch. I just got off a meeting here on the computer, and I've got a podcast with Dave's Multiverse, coming up tonight. We're going to talk about missing scientists, and who knows, I may not be around after that episode. So I figure we needed to go ahead and try to squeeze in. If I'm going to do 3 a week, we got to get number 1 underway by Tuesday. So here we are. Now, I was having issues. It looks like all 3 are connected. And if they are, I should be able to multitask my way right here and find a link. There we go. How's everybody doing? I've yet to read these numbers, so I don't see if we have anybody here in the chat. And if you're watching back, you know you've got to fast forward till about 4 minutes before things really get cranking on this anyway. So let me use both hands, set this poor microphone down, and let a few folks know what I'm doing here. Yeah, so Dave and I are going to get together along with Megan, and we're going to talk here at 6 p.m. my time, so in 2 hours. We're going to talk about all of these missing scientists from, all over, and just have a conversation. I think it's one of those things that people kind of need to be looking at, or talking about. So we are indeed going to do that. Coincidentally enough, we had somebody lined up to talk with us, and so the expert we had lined up isn't feeling well, as we're going to talk about experts that aren't feeling well. So in case I'm not feeling well tomorrow, you guys know what happened. Let me send one more of these, and we're going to get this show rocking and rolling. So I'm streaming now, I think, to 3 social platforms. Should be, let's check Facebook. I've yet to figure out really what streaming live on Facebook looks like. It seems to just link into the YouTube feed. So that seems to be what's going on there. All right, let me get my chat up and running in case anybody joins us. And we're going to launch into a very casual show today. So again, this is unannounced, and I am still I guess I'm getting a little better than practicing, but what I had mentioned last week we might dive into this week is the Rumble series, Finding Things Within and Without, which of course this series takes its name from. But I decided instead, since these other commitments, and I'm feeling a touch rushed, not in a bad way, but I want to stick to what I said I would do, which is 3 of these. I think we're going to spend this week here looking at some big rocks. We're going to look at some of the antediluvian Alabama stuff, which is appropriate. We touched on it at the end of last week, and I'm really going to do my best to try to watch a lot of it along without commentary to continue. We spent the last 3 weeks in episodes looking at the landscape around here, right, that is directly involved in the Mobilla story. And then we moved north a little bit with the Hatchet Creek stuff and started seeing these large anomalous rocks, right? Well, after last week's episode, where I read from the DeSoto Chronicles, describing just what all they found, as far as population and stuff goes in this area, it seemed to close nicely the foundation I wanted to lay for this landscape. So now we're going to try to spend just a little bit of time today, we may or may not make our hour, and continue laying this foundation for the other part of the story that takes place in more north central and then north Alabama up on Lookout Mountain. I'm on my own now. Telling a friend. You want to join? Not many people are willing to do that. But there we go. So we're gonna spend our time because I've got a commitment at 6:30 to go talk about all these missing scientists. We're gonna start looking at some of my earlier antediluvian stuff, and just again try to show it, get the sort of foundation laid before we really start launching into this stuff, and of course the finding things within and without side of this does start to get personal and into the spiritual sides of things, and that's not something I at all sort of want to feel like I have to do. So this episode today, with the time crunch and all, I feel it's more appropriate if we just hang out and paint the picture of the new territory we will be discussing, as well as what you've seen so far. So to do that, we are going to start with Google Earth. Whoa, I had it zoomed in last time. Okay. So Google, take me to Little River Canyon, please, Alabama. There we go. Okay, so let's close down again the ones we don't need, come back to UCATS, and let's look at a map together. Screen. Google Earth. Share. And let's get back over here and manage your visibility, which is in the wrong direction. Excuse me. Okay, we want it in that. Okay, and I just got a message. Do you want to start at 6? This is Dave. What's up, Dave? Sure, dude. I'm live now on my own thing. I don't think I can generate a link while I'm live, but I might can. Okay, so 6. Look at us at 6 my time. That's in 2 hours for Dave and I to dive into the missing scientists. This episode, we've already postponed it 2 days. It doesn't seem to want to happen. Okay, let's take a look here at our map, folks. So Google Earth. All right, you're gonna see I'm zoning in here on Little River Canyon. So I haven't picked any video in particular yet. We'll let that flow, but I have a feeling you will be seeing video from right along in here. So you see here DeSoto State Park, right? And I'm trying to find, you've got the Sharp Branch. And then, yeah, so all along in here, you're certain to see, if I show you anything, roadside rocks, that's right up in here. And a couple I know we will look at are from Little River Canyon National Preserve, which sits here, the only river known to run its entire course along the top of a mountain, that being Lookout Mountain. And there's your look at the map. Okay, so you guys know we've been focused mostly right down here along the Star Wound, or the impact crater, along Wetumpka, Alabama, right here, right? Here's our crater, right? Okay, and our serpent earthwork is right over here. All right, and that gives you an understanding. We might venture, I just might, show a little of where some of these larger stones that I associate with antediluvian Alabama begin appearing, especially through here. There's an area called Moss Rock Preserve. And of course, the triangular pyramid, which we won't be diving into today. I'm going to save that for obviously later on in the game, because that plays a big role in the story, and no point going there while we're just laying the land. Liquid detected. Um, okay, liquid detected in the phone, and Dave was messaging back. Okay, so we've laid our ground. Now let's pop over here and let's look at a video. Because that's what we're going to do this episode. I hope you guys are having an excellent Tuesday. The weather here is decidedly Irish. It's quite magical. Actually, I took Jacob out for a walk just a little bit ago. We went to Swayback Bridge, and whilst there, the thunderstorms started rolling in, and we got soaked. And I was on the phone with my friend, and some lightning just struck both sides, maybe a minute apart. And I mean, I'm talking 150 feet away. You know, I could see it, feel it. My friend could feel it through the phone. It's impressive out there, but it's beautiful and much needed. We've been under drought. So I've got the YouTube studio open. I bet that's a lot shorter way to get to all of my content. There we go. Now, this isn't going to have my playlist. So you see why I don't announce it, guys? I am still learning. So let's go here to my channel. And let's pull up our playlist. And let's start sharing a tab. YouTube. Yeah. Okay, and here you see playlists I've got put together for you guys. Other shows I'm on, right? We've got the Roundtable Chronicles, Shaman and Philosopher, all of that. I'm keeping these episodes. I'm trying to move them over here into finding things within and without. I've got my interviews, presentations, and of course just the impromptu chat I did there with Dan. All of those listed there. And here we go. Antediluvian Alabama is the playlist we're interested in today. But what we want to do, see, I want to look at all of them. There we go. And we want to go back a little ways. We want to go to, you know what? I changed my mind because I can. I want to look at my channel because I think there's an early one I didn't put in there just because it seemed redundant. So let's do it this way. All right, I showed you the map, DeSoto State Park. Let's take a look. I think at that. Does that feel right? Or should we do the 3 roadside rocks? Like I could do 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at our time. There's half. West Forks, pretty that's 20. Do we have time? Roadside rocks are all pretty short. There's 10 minutes. There's 10 minutes. Yeah, I think we might do that. That feels appropriate. How long is this one? Okay. Let's look at some video, guys. I am going to fast forward through the exposition.
Beach is usually down there. Can you see it, man? Water's way up. All right. We're going to climb out.
All right, let me get to where I can fast forward, and let's start doing some business here. So I've got everything set on that end. Right, brilliant. Now bring you back there.
Hi there.
Bring you
Another
back
beautiful day
there.
here in Alabama as I welcome you to another episode.
And we're going to fast forward through exposition because we've got me and we just want to look at stuff. And in the exposition, if you want to go find these videos on my YouTube page, then you can get a better sort of, you know, description of what I think you're looking at and, you know, my attempts to start telling a story. But here today, I am here to talk if I want to myself. We don't need the digitized version. And I kind of just want to show things a little bit. So where we're going to look is this video is going to take you where this is. And that's what we're going to kind of get a look at, is what all is around this thing. This is a picture that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. I even use it for an avatar, sometimes. And this month's episode of Pharos Magazine by the Institute of Natural Philosophy, they even cut me out and used me for a display on page 2 of, go check it out, Pharos Magazine at Institute for Natural Philosophy. So we're going to look at the area around this and just let you guys see. You've seen the picture. Let's look at the area around it.
Good morning, all.
Oh, that's not this video. We're live. Okay, but this is, in all seriousness, since I did start here, I guess maybe I should take us back. Y'all want to go see the beginning of all that? Do you? Is that what everybody wants to do? All right. Everybody that's not in the chat, let's do that. Let's go take a look quickly at the area all around that. So, back. DeSoto. Bam, park number 1. All right.
Yeah, maybe.
Easy.
Not today.
Now, let's... Okay, so this was precisely what I was just telling you it was, the area all around the circular metallic deposit. Yeah, this. Now we're where I thought I was. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? It wasn't bad. That really wasn't too bad.
Right here at the very first footsteps of DeSoto Falls trails, you can see these metal protrusions, just like the larger sheets we're going to go look at down here. You can see the quartz in the stone. See the pattern.
I just got new Tevas the other day. Can you tell I needed them? This is an old video too.
Here.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the trailhead. This is not even barely 100 yards probably from that metallic, that circular deposit.
Leading down here. A lot of water flow today. Good shot at all the quartz that's in all of this rock. Logan, it's kind of muddy.
There's
come on, we got actual caves up here.
Ricardo.
All right, look, here we are at the beginning. Look at these piles, guys. Now this pile I showed you.
Ricardo is very busy. I just got off, we had our board meeting for the Institute of Natural Philosophy. We were all there together. And Ricardo is very busy scanning in some maps on some new equipment that was generously donated by some benefactors. Massive scanner. And he's taking some of these very important maps of earthworks and alignments and other things up there in Wisconsin and getting them digitized, documented, and preserved. So thanks for listening, man. Yeah, we're looking at the big old stuff up in North Alabama for a few minutes.
Let's take a little bit of a closer look here.
Okay, so as you're walking up to this hunk of stone where this circular deposit is, it's important to note, I use the word rubble, guys. I use the word rubble instead of rocks a lot in these piles, and I'm not trying to color what you see, right? I'm just trying to say these rocks are all, the important thing to try to sort of objectively look at here is that they're all piles of very, very strangely shaped stones, and they're all haphazardly and of many different sizes thrown together and piled up across this entire dramatic landscape.
Oh, these holes. Ooh, bro. You should take them up there. Yeah, for sure. All right. Again, you see all of the quartz. Now this is a pile, and here you'll remember the divot from our last video. Metal. metal. This large divot. And again, this grooving here, you cannot explain with water. You can't. It's on the side.
Flat it gets right here on the end. It's like a little ridge line, you know.
See all the metal there on this block. And guys, this up in here, let me get underneath all this brush and bramble. You know, this is certainly not water.
So you see what I mean, right? You've got this giant piece of stone, and again, this entire landscape is such, right? That's what all these videos in this series are. That has this grooving on it, these markings on it. It contains all of these quartz pebbles, like some sort of concrete-like matrix, right? And they're all different sizes and pieces laying atop one another.
I mean, let me give you perspective here, right? And you see all the metal up there in the divot. Look at the grooving on all these pieces on the underside. On the underside.
Right.
Oh, look, there's some metal right there.
Look, see the rust in there? Same stuff that circle that we started this with is.
That is the pile up there that I was just filming. The circular hole.
Okay, so these big triangular chunks of rock, they are what that circular deposit is in. So you're walking up to it, and again here, look. Okay, I mean, if you've been watching me long enough, you've heard me talk about this quartz, but just look at it. You know what is this? You see all these little quartz stones. Every stone you see, I cannot emphasize enough, every stone you see in this video, no matter its size, has these. No matter how flat it is, if you go around and look for like a melted away spot, this is exposed.
Divides here. Looks suspiciously as though it fell off from this piece where these nodules are at.
You see that notch?
See right there. As we come around this giant piece.
Okay, now right there.
Seemed to have come from there is where.
Okay, right here is what we started with, this circular deposit. Okay, so you've already seen on the short walk to it the amount of anomalies, right? I mean, that's the one thing to stress is in the short walk to this thing already the amount of anomalies in stone.
Where we'll find our circular metal deposit. Again, look at the rubble. There's the circular metal deposit.
See, I mean, it's again, okay, second pile of rocks I come to, right? Look at the size of this stuff. Look at the size of the stuff. Piled on top of each other. Look at this.
The size of these pieces. From up there. Metal.
We're right in front of the circular deposit at this point. See, it's right there. It is coming into view.
A circular metal deposit.
Perfectly circular, perfectly symmetrical, has interior, exterior rings.
Rocks.
You see the quartz, as we've already talked about.
And some perspective behind me.
There's the pile.
Let's look at all this rubble.
Of rocks.
at this piece.
Look, big, small.
Look at the perfect blocked nature of this break. And it rounds right there. Look, all kinds of this metal down here. Metal.
You see,
Metal.
we're right in front of that circular deposit. This piles. Shaped, grooved. Look at that grooving.
Look at this piece up here by itself on top of this much larger slab.
Look at the things. You see how big it is. The one on, it's the little one on the big one. And you see this field. Now, guys, this field, right, of piles of rocks, that's that entire landscape, okay? You'll see if you watch all of this video or any of the other videos exploring this area, it's on and on and on and on, right?
There's your metal deposit, the other circular hole. Climbing down the hill now, that's the cliffside that all the pieces.
Now this is interesting footage. I haven't watched it back in a bit, but the reason backstory for you is interesting to me is so there's another circular metal deposit. Any of you that have seen my work, you're familiar with it, and it's just down the hill in another rock. And I had not found it yet. I was on my way just now. You're seeing me feel that pull. Like I haven't been downhill. You know, let's get downhill, right? It's off trail, and here is literally me in process of heading to discover a second one of these things, man.
Just fell off on that the circular deposit is on, and just climbing down, looking at these rocks. This little sucker, see, it's a break.
Look at all the quartz in it, man.
These little guys.
Look how
all these lines flowing this way on this rock.
These are just the piles. Look, I mean, look at what is this?
A piece on top of the rest.
You see, this is just going downhill, guys. Look at this melty looking nub.
Metal in there.
See little seams of there you go. Square. Look, one cross. Look at that thing. Again, we are right next to that big circular metal deposit. Just sort of slowly walking down the hill.
All right, getting dense. You can hear the water flows way up. And it's probably time to start heading back uphill.
It's when I turn around that I find the second one, when I start going back uphill. But I'm really wanting to evidence here.
But it's just pieces, as you can well see.
Shattered pieces. All downhill from that circular deposit.
All right, let's careen our way back up to where we left Logan at the circular metal deposit.
See all the quartz, guys. I mean, you just look at the front of this thing. Again, it's every piece, y'all. Every piece. I know I sound redundant, but it's part of what blows my mind about this place. This one.
All right, let's careen our way back up to where we left Logan at the circular metal deposit.
All right, and you see in there, you see all of those white quartz pebbles. Am I on now? Sorry, this one's important. I'm on now, and the one later. Also, that's the one with Dave's Multiverse, which I'll be doing here at 6 p.m. looking at the missing scientists. Yeah, I'm on now. Hi, if you're watching. We're looking at North Alabama.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna have to stop the video here. and do it its own. We found a second circular metal deposit. This is a third, actually.
It is. You'll see all of them here shortly.
See the metal.
See all the little quartz
See the
pebbles.
circles continuing all the way around, just as up in there.
You see all of these little white bits. These are white quartz pebbles. It's redundant, right? But I need explanations here. You know, sedentary does not cut it.
Just as up at the other side. Okay, now I need a natural explanation for two of these, three of them, because we found one that didn't have too much metal in it. But this one counts. Okay.
So now we'll walk.
So
back.
Here we are at the second metal deposit. I was tracing the rocks, the boulders here, as you can see, on my way down the hill from the original circular metal deposit. And without a doubt, I was coming down here for a reason, because at the bottom of this much smaller rock, there's yet another one.
And it is such a smaller piece of stone.
All right. Now, the
Still
first
a bigger
circular metal
deposit.
deposit
Still very
is right
large.
here.
All right,
on
and
the
you
side
see
of this rock.
This cliff up here, okay? That's where the
Dude, I found
famous
another
photo.
one right there on that boulder. You see right behind me?
Look at the piles.
Right down there. I need to go snap a picture as soon as I get footage hiking from one to the other. Okay. Now here we are at the original circular metal deposit.
Yeah.
And if you want to see what I call the third,
So, and it's right around here, and yeah, there it is.
it definitely deserves a count.
Even though it's
I guess
messier.
technically this one does.
And it's just on the back side there.
Now a little further down the hill from the...
So, for the rest of this video, what you're going to see is me just heading a little further in and down towards DeSoto Falls area and just evidencing the landscape is as I've already put forth. It's just this strange stuff continued in fields and fields.
You follow it. These pieces of rock laid up against it. Continuing on down towards the water. Again, what is this? I'm just asking, what is this? What is all this? Metal. See where it's black, rusted. There's a little creek down there. Oh, what is that down there by the water? Oh shit, that's no one like.
Fast forward just a little bit.
There's an interesting piece. Like the holes.
Quartz present. Look at this little piece.
There. Okay, I made it to the water, and now I'm gonna head back uphill to the circular metal deposits, right? So I just came all the way down the hill from those three things.
Yeah. And then you just see the piles
Metal.
of this stuff that
Two pieces.
continues. So that's a solid
Metal.
look, guys, at the literally immediate geographic region around this sort of famous picture.
To the waterfall. So I'm gonna go rescue Logan from that.
And then the rest of this video is a lovely hike, which shows the dramatic nature of this landscape, which you get right here in this first 10 minutes really well with my just exploring. Look here. These tables.
Keep going. Making our climb down to DeSoto Falls, and wanted to show off striations, the grooving in this rock.
How big it is. It's got the little quartz pebbles in it too, y'all. All of them. You can see them in there.
Same structure as the rest, meaning you can see the little quartz rocks in there. Yeah. Oh, look at this monster.
Okay, look at this.
Hold up, Logan.
It's like a pillar. Check this guy out. And you see the boulders.
Thorns. I found something cool
everywhere. It's just check this
thing out. What is this? The fuck is this?
Huh.
Whoa, bud. All right, see? Pieces. Dude, look at this thing.
A little notch on the front.
I'm about to pull a Logan and lose my stick because it looks like all the others.
When I walk back around.
Bro, look at this thing.
Take a look up there.
Oh, I thought it would be alive. It's quite an odd little hunk, isn't it? Oh, and all the metal.
See, it's like pieces of something, guys. Pieces of something.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's thick back here. Look at that.
Look, you can see.
Yeah.
Look at the way it plates.
So are the bugs. You hear that waterfall? I do. So behind it. Yeah, it's way up. Oh shit, there it is, bro. Yeah, follow me. Up this debris field. Yeah, man, we got an off-trail waterfall up here.
All rocks, right? I mean, it's all, you see it all. Grooves. Look at this piece on its side. I mean, what's going on, man? You're still within a couple of 100 yards of the circular metal.
Whoa,
deposit.
Man. I said, whoa, man. No, do it like Keanu Reeves. Whoa. That's terrible. Here we go.
It's quite a landscape,
Damn thing's
right?
Completely off trail, too. What about sanctuary? Oh, here we go. We found a trail.
It's quite a landscape.
Oh, man. Ice cold, dude. It's time for a shower.
Now, let's refresh everybody. We are in the landscape immediately surrounding this.
In and without us.
Right? That's what we're looking at. We're within a couple 100 yards of that.
Yeah, you can't even manage this. I think I managed. Isn't this so cool, though, man? Oh yeah, absolutely. The way it's kept, but not too kept. Raging water.
That big table rock. Did you catch the big table rock there? So the rest of this is going to be getting us down.
More metal, lot more metal.
Falls.
Look, it's in the seams too.
Okay, so as we continue this hike, guys, if you're interested in seeing the rest of this particular area, I went a little longer on this one than I thought I would, but I really enjoy watching it. Here at the end, I think it's worth noting. I think I show off some sheeting that's here of this metallic-like substance.
Metal. Look, there's a little seam in there. Comes out, rounds there, matches that same perspective. Logan says you can
Ah,
leave
the
me
cave.
here.
Dramatic
So for all
landscape.
our fellow cave lovers.
So this is comedic, but also not to the point, really, of just continuing. There are some nice bits in there with Logan and I, if you want to go check out the whole video. Here, this is, you know, I've been harping on the quartz, right? I've been harping on it, the little pebbles that look like they're trapped in some sort of matrix. This is an excellent example of how every stone, you know, out here exhibits this feature, this quality.
Of the whatever was here.
No, we all know what concrete looks like, right? Okay, that's why I say it looks like concrete, right? I mean, it does. It's all of these little quartz pebbles trapped in the matrix, and every single stone, from the one with the circular metal deposit to the giant pieces to the little pieces, they all have this. It's just, it's smooth on some places and seems exposed by fracture or by a heat element or some sort of force in many other places.
Right, with the metal. You can see another one here. Right? And I'm telling you, this is the makeup of all of this.
You want to see the quartz pebble stuff going to
Yeah, all of it, exactly. It all showcases the quartz pebbles.
Look at the piles Logan's standing
and the metal.
under.
Okay, now
Now here's the sheeting I was getting to.
the area of the metallic seam. I only had a fridge magnet, as you can see.
And that runs about 3 feet down. And look at how melted it is there behind me.
I don't
need
know
to be mindful
how you explain that away.
Time, because I got another
as
show.
natural, right? One with some extremely, hard to come about circumstances, perhaps.
Okay, so I'm going to pop over to another video. We do have a few folks that have joined us, so we're going to keep rolling. Again, 6 p.m. Central, we're going to pop over to Dave's multiverse, and we are going to talk about missing scientists. But what we're going to continue to do here for a few minutes, for everybody that's just sort of joining in, I'll bring you back to the map here. And what we're looking at is, yeah, let's hope that's correct on your screen, is the area around Little River Canyon. We've been right here in DeSoto State Park, right around DeSoto Falls, right? So this is where you're going to find that metal deposit and that landscape that's been exhibited. Now, we're going to move quite a ways. I'm going to start, and I'm going to show you a video from here quickly. They're all called Roadside Rocks. They're on my YouTube, right? 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to jump down here to Little River Canyon. Again, one of the only rivers in the world known to run its entire course, or 98.9% of it, until it drops off down here and empties into the Coosa. You see the Coosa River here? All right, this is right where it falls off of the mountain and empties into the Coosa. We're gonna take ourselves right down in here along this canyon. This is a 130 to 150 foot deep canyon, and you see all the rocks strewn about in there. So we're going to go look at some rock features that, one, there's the Eberhard Point. This trail, guys, is straight up and down from the top to the bottom. I've got a video of Logan and I doing it, but we're going to go right over to this area and look at some rocks that aren't really, it's not an overlook. You got to kind of pull the car in the dirt and hop over. And we're going to take a look at those. So I just wanted you to have that frame of reference. You'll be right on the edge of this 130-foot, 150-foot cliff looking over the Little River. So let's pull us back over here. Okay, share this tab instead, now that we've got everybody familiar with where they're going. And let's start here with Roadside Rocks number 1. We've got about maybe 30 or 40 minutes left, and these are little 10-minute videos. And I'm just going to continue to evidence to you, after you've now seen the landscape here in the first 40 minutes surrounding this circular deposit. Let's continue to span out now, 6, 10, 12, 15 miles along these two rivers and see what we see. So we're going to go down here and we're going to look for the first video entitled roadside rocks. So that's roadside rocks and narrative blindness here.
From roadside rocks. The girl.
Okay, and yeah, so if you're familiar and want to, there is a reason, even though we're doing watch alongs, still go check out these videos, people watching. I put a good bit of exposition here at the front, and I'm explaining to you what you're seeing from my what I'm putting forth, my thesis, right? And that's something I'm not trying to do a whole lot of here. So please go check out these videos if you want to get all of that on each of these antediluvian Alabama videos. What we want to skip to is looking at a few things. So we're going to do that here. And we're going to look at some rocks first here in DeSoto.
And we'll take a look at some of these as I'm hitting the road.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
And what to point out, you know, you can see behind me.
I'm sorry, guys. You were looking at the small map, weren't you? That was terrible.
Starting, right? This big bulbous thing, completely flat on the other side. Okay, I paused it while climbing. So let's take a look again.
Let's look at these rocks and
all this modeling. Horizontal lines.
Again, the most basic question that I would have anybody ask themselves, and what I'm sort of trying to showcase here, these questions that I have, is looking for natural reasons that would have formed all of this I'm documenting. And I hope for you, that guys that weren't here for the first 30 minutes, you go back and you see that within just 100 feet of each other and 100 feet of that circular metal deposit, just how much there is of this stuff. You know, it reminds me of looking at Mars with John Ward and Brian Corey Dobbs, the amount of anomalies.
What is this?
What's up, Amy? With Current, good to see you.
Setting up on that pedestal.
Oh my God, OMG. Hi, JC.
Like
Thanks for stopping by, bro. How are y'all?
Tell me how it happened naturally, please. Big pieces, wedged from the explosion. Look at this, gets flat.
You see themes repeating, these piles.
Fissure.
This, if you'll note that, right, what I want you to keep in your mind here is, in a minute, I'm going to turn around, right, and I'm going to start walking away from what you see here, this groove and this strange mottled stone, and you're going to see that feature again. I just want to point out that when you see this next feature, this is right behind you.
This piece wedged. Over here, it's a piece I've shown quite a bit. Can't really see it as well through the trees, so let's get closer. Man, what's just under these leaves is what I want to know. The scaling, you know, all over these things. And look at this. Zoom out.
Okay. So you're going to see, again, this grooving, right? And you're going to see that what I call modeling, lumpiness. Ricardo calls like scales. But you see these features, you know, evidencing themselves in these, what I can only call piles of rock. And they all have the quartz.
What is this? Again, we've got the scaling. All of it made the same stone mixture. Quartz pebbles and the trap binding matrix. Sorry, a lot of thorns back here. A lot of stumps. What is this? Looks like a paw.
Now look, I walk around the side of this thing.
Evidence of the metal.
That little square bit of the rusted metal.
So we're
Same as the
directly
circle.
above all of the videos I filmed with the girls and the walks I filmed yesterday. And the river are just below this ridgeline. It drops off right there. And these
That's
type
important.
stones are everywhere on top of this stone wall, you remember from the videos. Now, late last night, I haven't got it up yet, but I did a video walking a new route, and I learned that these stone walls, you know, as I call them, which are right here, are terraced. So you're walking along, takes a 90-degree turn, you go down, you turn a corner, and you realize it's another one, right? Terraced down to the river.
West Fork, if you want to look
Somebody was here, y'all.
through my playlist.
Somebody was here
the
making
the
big
West
rocks
Fork titled
with
video
quartz pebbles and
shows
some sort of
all
admixture.
that off.
See what they're all made of.
And again,
all they are.
the quartz. Now you notice earlier we were over by the falls and the circular metal deposit, and I told you it's every rock. Okay, hang on one second, guys. All right, sorry, we've got a dog. Jacob is in here. All right, let's keep rolling. So this quartz, right, which I'm telling you is everywhere. Now, I am miles away from where I was earlier, but please notice that even this giant paw-shaped feature, the little quartz stones trapped in the matrix, is everywhere in this territory, this landscape.
Somebody was here. They had terraces. They had giant stoneworks, megalith in size, obviously. The rocks down at the bottom look like somebody blew up Sacsayhuaman, you know? And so from here, that first terrace starts 40 feet in front of me. Goes down, terraces again, terraces again.
So
Same
let's
height on these stone terraces.
The timing is going well to look at all three of these.
It's like walking through a city that got blown up.
Oh, and I said I wasn't
And
going
with
to
that,
let you hear
I'm
me
gonna go feed these girls
talking
by
about
Mad Hatter and some
what I
French
saw.
toast, maybe. And thank you all again for joining me
So-
and for giving me birthday wishes. I've got more birthday wishes this year than I have at
You
any point.
guys, let's mute. You don't care about all that. So now I do show a couple of more seasons. I visit this in the fall, and I just want you to see with clarity that feature I just showed you. As you see again, the back of it with sort of that meltiness. And if I jump us over here, you're going to see me come back in another season here. That's just a separate visit. Same season. The fall's at the end.
As far out as I can zoom. Try to give you some perspective here.
And that was when I discovered the second circular metal deposit. That was that day. And
Okay, that was not.
let's skip to, where am I wearing the sweater, Jason? Where is it cold? And yeah, let's get a look there. Just want you guys to see this place without all the foliage real quick.
Bad boy over here. Same type rock, you know. I've got the little pieces of the quartz stone in there. Sorry, I'm moving fast. This is just the side of the road. I pulled over just to get some looks at this stuff here. Look at that thing.
Now, this is one of the pieces, along with that circular metal one we looked at the beginning, that I can't help but have some questions about. You know, I think not. I think this piece alone, let alone, you know, forget the fact it's standing in a pile of these pieces, right? But this piece alone, just it's got a lot of questions sitting on it.
Look at this. thorns, man. Always thorns everywhere.
That's so true.
Go to
If it's worth finding, guys, you're going to have to go through a few thorns, right? You're going to have to go through a few thorns. The rest of that is exposition and then showing off how this road was built right next to these.
Scioto State Park.
Worth checking out. Now, let's continue on. I think it's worth probably my showing you Google Earth real quick. Because, again, the area of this landscape in which these same anomalies repeat is worth noting. That is definitively worth noting. So we were here right now, okay? Right here. Right about where you see the town Mentone. All right. Now I'm going to jump over and we're going to go all the way down here. Okay. Let's see what we see all the way down here. And I'll do the same favor of saving the exposition for anybody that wants to go to the YouTube page and find the video and get my thoughts there on it. And let's get straight to Little River Canyon. Oh, there were a lot of butterflies that day. That's what I was showing off. River Canyon. Okay, 130 to 150 feet.
It's a miniature
from
Grand
top
Canyon.
to bottom. Now, the rock formations I just filmed from are right back up the road here, right? So any of these large, odd formations I'm showing and calling them roadside rocks at various times, they are all directly on, like where I'm standing, right? The rim of this canyon. That's important. And down at the bottom of this canyon, the same stones in much bigger pieces. Oh, thank you, JC. It's not my birthday now. My birthday's
Little River Canyon.
7/11. So that is where
The only
I
river
thought
that
of
runs
those,
its
JC.
entire course across the top of a mountain. And that is
How completely earnest of you. Thank you for that. But my birthday, that was filmed in July, 7/11. That's why it's Shaman 7/11. Was my birthday. Have you heard the stories about the ancient Chinese cutting jade? Yes. So I've actually, it's so funny you said that, JC. I have a video in case things ever got slow here on the show, like in my bookmarks on X, of a modern day artist doing this and cutting stone with ropes and the sand. It's so impressive, man, and so cool to see. So cool to see. Oh, what's up, Corey Peacock? We've got haters. It's the guy that is confused with conquered and stolen. Yeah, so you're the guy that commented on my video about stolen land. Man, you should check out the whole conversation, bro. You know, there's maybe some history you're not familiar with, you know, that happened here in this country with narratives, and I'm not going to go into it here. But yeah, dude, no. Stolen, right? But I was more to the point talking about the heritage, man, not the land, the culture, right? And when in the 1800s, you know, Washington decided for itself that it needed to start protecting the narrative that the natives were not well developed, right? That they were extremely savage and basic, which these DeSoto Chronicles sitting right here on my desk argue, and those are firsthand accounts, right? So, but this narrative needed to be protected, man, because of land claims and because of all the stuff that goes into it, right? So all of that is actual. And so much of our history, the stuff that I am uncovering, right, myself and so many others, all that are involved in the field, right, has been kept from us, you know, by policies that were put in place long ago. That's against no one today. But I'm not going to devolve into a debate about stolen land, because there was nations here, man. Very well developed, very, very impressive. Blew the minds of these chroniclers and these DeSoto expeditions, how well they had it here and how many there were of them, right? And yet it was purported that they were savages so that we could rightly, then claim the land. I mean, that counts as stealing. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get back to the rocks and let me get Jacob out of here. Right, so we're at an hour. We've got a few more minutes. Let's finish. Let's get ourselves back over after we got to copy Peacock. I do appreciate you coming by, man. And I'm not confused on the difference between conquered and stolen, right? And I don't think you are. Perhaps you just haven't, checked too many sources. Perhaps you just are using a perspective that was given to you, which is what most of us have done with our lives, rightly so. We got educated and we got things handed to us and we took it for granted. And what I'm trying to do here is show what happens when you get out in the world and in nature and in these places inhabited by the natives. I found Mobilla. That's, part of the story here as well, right? So when you're out here in this, when you disengage from these narratives, from anything you've been told about any of this, and you look at it and you start asking questions, just simple questions, right? Then you start noticing things. And that's what we're doing here. We're finding things, right, man? Thanks for stopping by again, Peacock. It's good to see you, dude. It all helps the algorithm, truly. Okay, so we're going to run back over to Little River Canyon, start sharing this tab instead. And let's see what we find miles and miles away from what I just showed you, right?
Is Lookout Mountain that we are standing on. Okay, we're going to call this Roadside Rocks number 2. There's your mushroom rock. So we went back to the headquarters here for Little River Canyon, and my goodness, we asked about other trails that lead down, and we got informed about one. So we're actually on the way to find.
Okay, you already see some recurring themes, right? You already see this modeling, right? This scale-like looking stuff that you saw all the way over in DeSoto. You're going to see these seams, right? You're going to see a lot of metal seams. You're going to see some really cool stuff in this one, some buckles. But you're also going to see this quartz, these little quartz pebbles in every bit of this. Sarah, yo, what's up? Hey, help me remember I got to do another stream in an hour. I can't keep going forever. How's it going? How's the garden? How's the fires? Sarah braving the stuck in the fires down in South Georgia. All right, let's keep looking at this weird place.
Whoa. Could that shit be native?
Oh, bro, you can get under there.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Look at this place, man. Dude, this is sick. Tiffany and Jason. All right, look at the way this flares and just how absolutely flat that is.
Yeah. That's strange.
I'm gonna fast
I will, you go for it. I
a
want to check
little
out this whole place. I want to go. Look, dude, more metal.
More metal?
Look, that's what all this red shit is.
Oh,
Look.
yeah.
bit. Little seams, little seams.
That's cool over there.
It's cool though, isn't it?
Now, look at here.
All right, hang on, man. I'm coming.
Sorry for all the bro talk with
seam.
Logan, but we were
What happened here?
excited.
Oh,
Here you go, bro. See if you can get up here and I'll hand you the camera. You think you
Look
can
at
make
this
that?
massive thing.
Well, I'll hand you the camera. I'll take the key. Let me go look at the rest of this. Dude, this is so strange. It's like rock bubbles, man. Oh, you keep
It's
going.
like a foot that fell over or something. Now, as you continue on around this very funky sort of place,
Some more of this circular stuff.
look, the little those repeating patterns there, that it could be native,
Stuff in
right?
there.
For sure, they're
What is
all
this?
over this thing. Look at the way these things
What is this?
rest on each other. I'm gonna mute Logan and I there. Look at the way these things rest on each other, right? Now the river, so that 140-foot cliff, look at the back of this thing, guys. That 140-foot cliff is right behind me. Like, this is right on it. You can hear the water running. Look at that. The little nub. This little metal seam that just runs.
So we're right on the
It's like
canyon rim. I don't know
melted.
if I shut up for a minute, if you can hear water flowing over there.
Yeah, here you go.
That's the bottom of the Little River Canyon. Look at that mess. You just see the metal.
Now, because I mentioned it,
Did you find your way up, man?
I'm going to fast forward you around to this buckle.
No. Seems.
Okay, so I'm just following this little seam all the way around this rock.
No.
And I start to notice a little strange behavior. You see it rusting in there.
And then look at these buckles.
What's this?
Look, you've got the seam, and then buckle. Over here.
Wait, it's
I mean,
like
really,
crimped on each other.
what
right?
is this?
Now, and you see all of these, you see all this quartz pebble that's in this matrix, right? And this layer of metal that seems crimped, right? So you start to understand why the basic way I try to describe this landscape is I see signs of high heat and high energy, right?
Look, you can see the quartz rock again. We are miles and miles from DeSoto State Park, following the seam. These buckles are wild. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then continuing on. That's nutters. I don't know what else to say. I'm like,
So the rest of this video, I'm just going to continue around and show the size of this complex. I don't know, those are the words that,
all right, Monkey Boy,
that come
where are
to
you?
mind. It's like a complex.
All right, go up there. And you got the phone?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, it's on.
Logan.
Take it over there and get some shots. Leave it straight up and down. Yeah. I mean, what is this flaring? That's the
See,
thing.
look at this. Look
You
at the
see
size,
flaring
guys.
There and there. Oh.
You can hear the water
This
running.
stuff
You
is
hear it?
flat. Flat as can be. Right there where you are. And these metal seams, man, over here, I found this shit buckles. So the seams run, and see how it changed directions? Over there, it was buckled. Just like a
Look at the pattern.
Yeah,
You see
here's
the
one
pattern
here.
in there?
buckle.
Like that
Exact
modeling
same.
pattern, but more faint. It was on the outside of all the
Toss
rocks
me the
you've
camera.
seen.
I'll show them this buckle over here, and we'll head back to the car.
Okay, so this is a second complex, right?
All right, roadside rocks number 2.
Now, there are tons of these guys, but what I've put out so far is 3. So we're going to look real quick at the third one before I have to hop off here and go get ready for tonight's show with Dave's Multiverse, talking about these missing scientists. Let's go over here and look at, we need Roadside Rocks 3. It should be another good short one. Yeah, under 10 minutes. We don't want the exposition. So, oh, here, let's show you Little River Canyon.
However, you can zoom in. Right, thanks.
Here, I'm gonna keep it in a 0.5 for you.
And yours truly. Check out how clear the water is. Now, this doesn't have the quartz in it, okay? This is like bedrock, right? That's important as I catch myself midair. This, all right, all of this that you'll see around, right, it doesn't have the quartz in it, right? But every other stone that I've showed you this entire video does, right? I don't know what it means. I have my ideas, but I'll keep them to myself. Let's look at this last set of rocks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's skip our exposition, as is our wont. You can go find the video yourself and hear me tell you what I think you're looking at mostly and how it fits into the story.
Okay, this is a new set of roadside rocks.
Still
I'm
over
here,
on Little
driving
River
along
Canyon.
Little River Canyon. The canyon is literally right behind these rocks. And I think we've got every feature you're already familiar with by now. I'm right over them. I can hear the water.
See the lines?
But these I had to
horizontal?
get a shot of. What do we have going on here, guys?
It's
Look
like
at this.
a complex that's been blown, you know? And it's just, that's the feel you have of the place. All the stones, the lines match up. If you were to like sort of put them, you know, see them back together.
What is this?
I entertain myself a lot out there. It's, I love it. I just love it. And I hope that's evident. I just love being out there. That's why I love watching these videos with you guys so much. Thank you for indulging me today with my no plan. Again, look. All right, you're gonna see the quartz in all of this, and you see the grooving.
Come up here. Rain's coming. Look at these.
Signs of force. Signs of force. I'm gonna burn us through the end. We've got about 20 minutes left here, but I want you to see the top of this thing. Look at this hunk of rock. You see how it's all got a shape.
You hear the
to it?
water?
It's just odd.
This is the canyon rim falling off right here.
There's no just normal hunks, you know. It's just too much, man, for me anyway. So
holy crap!
I want you guys to get a look up on top.
Ball's a lot bigger on this side.
Before we chat for a second, and I go get ready for
Harris,
tonight's
find another one down
show.
there.
All right, let's walk ourselves back around. Here we go, showing off all the debris, and then let's get back up and start climbing in this sucker for a second. Yeah, you did. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I know we had all the meetings going, but I had to fit in a show today. I had to get one in, so I don't have to rush the rest of the week. You know, I said I'd do 3. I'm doing 3. Look at this place.
Somebody made a mess.
All has the quartz pebbles.
Ruins. Oh, the tree root. That's awesome. All right, view from the top. Oh shit, almost not.
Okay, getting to the top now. You see all the quartz pebbles sticking out of it? You see how it looks like rough concrete? Little pillars.
And of course, all of it containing our friend.
You see? The little, I know it's been redundant this episode, guys. The little quartz pebbles in all of this stuff.
The quartz pebbles. I'm telling you, somebody needs to fire a concrete driver because he spilt a lot of fucking trucks.
All right. On that note, we are at 1 hour 15. I've been aiming for between an hour and an hour and a half, and I think we've about achieved that today. We've got some viewership on X. I wasn't able to stream last episode on X. There were some issues, but I'm back on X. So thank you, X, for tuning in. I'm going to be streaming again on X here in about an hour. It's going to be a different show, though. I'm going to go live with Dave's Multiverse, and we're going to talk about these 11 or more now, something like 15 missing scientists, missing slash dead, you know, and what is going on, and just sort of look at that mystery for maybe 90 minutes and see what we come up with. I think it's something we should at least be looking at, just like everything which I have showcased here. So chat, Sarah, JC, everyone else tuned in everywhere. All of the chat should be feeding here for me, so I shouldn't have missed anybody that's actually spoken to me. Thank you, everybody that stopped by today. I've got 2 more shows I'll do this week, versions of this, Finding Things Within and Without. We will most likely this week carry on a little bit with looking at the rocks, as we just have in North Alabama, continuing to paint the landscape of that area. If you've missed the first 8 episodes, they're on YouTube in a playlist. Go catch them. You'll sort of get the painting of the area here in central Alabama, where all of the native story played out with Tuscaloosa, DeSoto, Coosa, all the chiefs, and all of the other things I've been finding down here. And we're just going to keep trucking along. And I'm so thankful, you know, to wrap this up, guys, for everybody that has tuned in. At least a couple here from Huntsville. We've got Amy. That's right, Amy. I forgot about Amy Wicked Current. Amy, you need to come chat sometime. You know it. You know you got this sort of open standing invite. I'm really interested in the story. Yeah, you guys go find Amy Wicked Current and another former Alabamian. Well, all this shit, you know, is right next to you, Amy. You're a hop, skip, and a jump from Mentone and Little River Canyon and DeSoto. I hope to be getting back up there soon over the coming weeks here. To revisit. I'm going to try to revisit with a friend or two to get sort of some fresh takes to hopefully offer, you know, forth here as I'm documenting all this. And then we're going to start heading to some new locations in all of this area to start documenting the proliferation of oddities that there are as we just continue our process of trying to paint the landscape for you guys. There's quite a story behind all of this that I've put together over the years. You know, I do have quite a hypothesis, but we're going to take our time working up to it, and we're going to enjoy looking at everything and getting everybody squared up. You know, I'm getting sort of new viewers and more viewers every day, so I just want to take my time lingering around here, getting everybody on the same page as far as what things look like, where they are, and then we'll launch into. And one of these episodes this week, I will keep my promise to start looking at my series on Rumble called Finding Things Within and Without from years ago, which sort of ties the thesis of this process together, where we're not only going to be looking at this physical evidence, but we're going to be talking about the spiritual aspects, the processes I underwent and went through before I found all of this, and what enabled me and made me what it is sitting before you today, showing you all of this. That is all an aim of this program. So that's what you guys have to look forward to, or to not tune into, as I push forward with doing at least 3 of these a week, along with all the other regular commitments. Thank you very much. Everyone, please get outside, go look around you, and just see what you can find. Tune into it objectively, and I promise you it will not be time you will regret. Our best future requires the truth of our past, so we'll be here trying to bring it to you. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode, and I'll see you here in under an hour with Dave's Multiverse. Bye, guys. Episode 9 wrapped.